Hi, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restorations with another short video on a vintage pachinko machine. If you enjoy seeing these, please click on the subscribe button down below. And if you haven't been there already, magicpachinkorestorations.com is my website. Got lots of information for folks that are either interested in purchasing a restored machine or working on their own, so on and so forth. So please visit. So this is a 1972 Nishijin Model A recycler machine. This is a customer's machine, so not for sale. It was a complete restoration, meaning that I took everything off, broke it down to its most individual pieces, cleaned everything, and then reassembled it, including a new playfield. So the nails come off, get tumbled, all the attractions come off, get cleaned, everything gets cleaned, so on and so forth. Also put stabilization feet on the machine, so it's not going to tip over. Well, it still would tip over, but you'd have to work at it. With all of my restorations, when I do a complete restoration, I also do the wood on the machine. So all of the wood on the machine now has been sanded and polyurethaned. So these machines are, when I'm done with them, are actually better than when they left the factory in Japan, in the sense that the wood is now all finished off, protected by polyurethane, won't ever warp, so on and so forth. So this machine had sat around for quite a while. At some point in time, I'm assuming it tipped over without having the stabilizing feet, and the upper tray, which is plastic, probably hit first and shattered, and then this piece here was also not there when I received the machine. So fortunately I was able to source this part, and I was able to source both these parts and get them put back on. I redid the wire harness with new lights, and again, with all my restorations, I include a 12-volt wall plug that gives the machine power. So to get this set up, you can plug it in at any time. It doesn't matter when you plug it in, but if you plug it in prior to putting any balls in it, you'll notice this light up here will come on. That lights the trim piece on the outside. Says I don't have enough balls to play, so the light's on. It stays on. It's controlled by this micro switch here, and when this the weight shift occurs here, it lifts off the micro switch and turns the light out. So you'll see when I put balls in that light will go out. Over here, there's a little sticker that says shut and open. The shut is up, open is down. You want to make sure that's up. And what it'll do is it'll keep the balls, it'll stop the balls in the jackpot chamber. If it goes into the open position, it'll let the balls continue out of the machine. So that's how you empty the balls out of the machine if you're ever going to move the machine or something like that. But for play purposes, you want to make sure this is in the shut position. And this white piece of plastic here is called your Seesaw. You can just see the top of the white here. It's got a little wire that sticks up, and it will, when it's in play, this tips forward and it makes the contact on the leaf switch, and it will turn on the light in the center of the machine, and that is momentary when you get a win, and then it shuts off and resets. Okay, so that's the electric part of it, and I'll show you how to load it. You want to take, if you purchased say 300 pachinko balls, you want to take about 275 of them, and you're going to put them into this tray right here. Now what you want to do initially is just take a handful. And even though this is shut, you want to make sure everything is going to be okay. You drop a handful in. And initially they're all going to run out down here, down this, and into the recycling tray. They come across and stop right underneath this white cover. That's where the jackpot chamber is. So because they stopped, we know everything is okay. Now you can just go ahead and load this right up with as many balls as it will hold. Now this has been pushed down because of the weight of the balls. It's lifted off the micro switch. The light is out. And you want to make sure the Seesaw is tipped back, and that's the starting position. So what will happen A losing ball comes back in right here and goes back into the tray. When you win, it will empty this tray. The balls for a win come out of this tray. So periodically, what you're going to hear while you're playing is this noise. And that simply says, I'm starting to run out of balls here. I'm going to let some more come down. So that's the normal operation. Okay? With this particular pachinko machine, none of the balls exit the machine. The only time they would exit the machine is when you're going to empty the machine out. And if I were to push down on that to open, there's a chute right here, and the balls would drop right out of the machine. So if you just had a little cup or something, you could catch the balls as they drop out. Okay, so now we swing this around. This is an interesting setup with the tulips and things. Normally, there's usually like maybe 3 tulips. This one has 5. These are called pay pockets. This is the center attraction. It's called the snowflake. Now, under normal circumstances, a tulip, when it's closed and a ball goes in, so this lit up, the winning ball goes down into the lower tray, and then 14 balls come out and give you your prize for winning. So now that tulip is open, and if you notice, it's a much bigger target than the closed tulips. But when you put it into a closed tulip, it'll close up again. Now, with this particular machine, it's hard to do because this is the only place it'll happen. But if you can get a ball to go in the top of the center attraction, I want you to watch the tulips when I drop a ball in there. Internally, there's a mechanism that'll open all the tulips. And that's what I was struggling with for a while to figure out how that actually worked. But you won't get that happen very often. It's hard to get a ball in there. But once it is, now the tulips, for the most part, are open. So when you start to launch balls, so now the tulips close, and they'll stay closed unless you get them to open again. Now that stayed closed. So there's that noise of more balls coming from here into the center. So that's your machine. It's pretty. Hope you like it. Thanks.